All right, welcome back, Tiger Nation, to Tiger Insider. I'm the athletic director of Bentonville High School, Chris Hutchins. Today I am joined by our head girls basketball coach, Tom Halbmaier. So really the purpose of this program is to promote our athletic programs for our coaches and some of the influences they have, and just to get the word out there about, we have people that are working hard for Tiger Nation and working hard for kids in our community. So thank you for joining me this afternoon, Coach Halbmaier. It's fun watching your team perform this year. Had a big win last night, so that was fun. I don't want to make it about that, but it's hot off that, and I know that's a hot topic today, so congratulations.
Well, I appreciate that. I got great kids to work with.
Yeah. All right, so really, I guess the first question I would have, if you have a basketball card, let's make it a basketball card, what would the back of your basketball card say about you, about your history? Where do you come from, Coach Halbmaier?
Holy cow. It's one of those deals.
I know you're getting older.
I'm getting older. I grew up in Lead Hill, a little Podunk town out north of Harrison. It's like a population of 300, family of 10. I'm the 9th youngest. The second kid gone through college. The other brother, he's a principal at Jessieville, Toby. It's one of those deals where my dad was a fabricator. He never graduated from high school. Got his degree, honorary degree, when he celebrated his 50th high school reunion. So all his buddies got together and talked to the principal, so that was pretty cool. So it's one of those deals where Mom and Dad always want to go ahead and make sure we're kind of blue collar, go ahead and work. So the white collar industry wasn't really, in their, how can I say, their background, their forte, but they always encourage us to go to school and try to be the best you can.
Lead Hill,
a little Podunk town, a great town to visit.
Yeah,
it's a great town to grow up, and got a lot of good friends there, and it kind of appreciates this town, Bentonville, being its size, how it started small and kind of grew up, and it was fun it's fun being part of that process.
Yeah, cool. So grew up in Lead Hill. How long have you been in Bentonville?
Been in Bentonville. Been coaching here for 23 years. Met my wife here. My kids are here. So it's been a good, really good story to just be able to stay here and raise a family and be part of this culture and this community. And there's no way I could think of any other place I would rather be.
Good. Tell us a little bit about your family. What's your wife do? Kids?
Carol, been married to her for 21 years this July. I had to do my math real quick. And she's at Osage Creek. She's a librarian, loves it. She created the book bus, helped with the book bus, her and Kim Moss, and that's her passion. She just loves working with kids, learn how to read, and just get them inspired to read. So it's fun for me to watch that aspect of her, because she's very passionate about it, the same way I'm passionate about coaching, and we're just two totally different career paths, and but it gets me excited about it. We got a daughter who's a senior this year, been with me through thick and thin with basketball and stuff like that. She works hard, she gets after it. She really has the knowledge of the game. She really has a lot of common sense, and her perspective of the game, how people are playing, are pretty spot on. I'm very impressed with that. Then you got Sawyer, who's a junior. He's in Ignite program. He wants to do the cinematography. He's really enjoys that. That's totally out of my wheelhouse. But just around the dinner table, him talking about it gets me excited about it. Feel like I'm part of it, and I don't have a clue what he's talking about. But it's pretty cool. He kind of help assisted. He's with the highlight or the hype video. So it's next year he's going to take that on and do that. So it's going to be fun for me to watch how he kind of grows in that area.
Cool. Thanks for telling us about your family. So growing up in Lead Hill, high school in Lead Hill. And what opportunities did you have there?
Not very many. I mean, you go to class, there's not a whole lot of electives. You play basketball, you play baseball, they had golf there, which I wasn't very good. If you're a decent baseball player, you're not a good golf player, so it's kind of like one of those deals. It didn't work out too well, but I enjoy it. They had some track there, but I didn't do track. It's just basketball and baseball, and so you kind of went from one sport to the next. It's the same people you're going with, but just different uniforms. So it was a great opportunity. With my mom and dad, what they did with 10 kids, they did the best they can. Go ahead and create those opportunities for us, and Lead Hill, as education-wise, they did the best they can, and so I was really pleased be able to be prepared to go ahead and go to U of A. I North Ark first, then went to U of A, and graduate from there.
I can just envision 10 people around the dinner table, but was pretty spread out from oldest to you're next to the youngest?
Yeah, I got hosed in that deal because the youngest one always sat beside Dad, and Dad always liked to mess with you at during dinner table, and he was a big dude, and so we had some interesting conversations. Sometimes those dinners, they last like an hour because going around talking about stuff, just getting conversations, but yeah, it was one of the deals. I got hosed since I was the youngest. I was closest to Dad, and I got some of that stuff, so it was pretty good. It's it's one of those deals that it's tough to articulate, explain to your kids now with having just having different personalities and stuff like that, and it's kind of fun right now. As you get older, you kind of like, man, he's like my oldest brother. He acts like my youngest brother. My sister. Just kind of like you kind of relate to him quicker because you've learned to grow up those different type of personalities.
It's cool. It's cool experiences. As you're growing up in Lead Hill, you go to North Ark, you go to the University of Arkansas. Is there someone or maybe a couple people that influenced you to get into teaching and coaching? Oh
yeah, Tobe, my brother. He's a principal at Jessieville. He took his team. I always wanted to be a coach, some aspect. I didn't know boys or girls. But in 7th grade, I always knew I want to coach because I think it was just one of those deals to just have the ability to be able to make influence kids' lives. Just be part of that. Them growing up. Tobe, he was coaching at Odin, and he got into basketball, started doing girls and boys. He did all 4 teams. So he ran ragged. So that kind of got me going. His good buddy Bobby Howard was the girls coach at North Ark, so I just kind of slid in there, went to school there, and kind of hung out with his program for a couple years and really enjoyed it, and I said, hey, this is something I want to do. So I went to U of A, and Coach Blair was there, and I walked in his office, and it was really cool to be able to have that opportunity. He took a chance on me, and with no scholarship money, I just went and did it for free because I wanted the experience, and if you work hard enough at it, someday you'll get rewarded.
Cool. And Coach Blair's retiring this year.
He's hanging it up. He's hanging it up. But I'll tell you what, that man, he's a good one. He's a good guy.
And he'll probably move back to Northwest Arkansas, sounds like. This is where his roots are, right?
So when he was here, during the summertime, what a lot of people don't realize is that, you're working at U of A. I had a part-time job, and now it's between jobs and part-time jobs, and he knew I did some construction growing up a little bit, so he hired me around his house, hang up Christmas lights and stuff like that, and he was building his house, and they're building the front deck to his new house, and he went ahead and brought me to the contractor, said, hey, I want this guy, go ahead and lay down the boards for the front porch. So I started laying them down, and Coach Blair went ahead and took care of me that way. So there's a lot of stuff he did behind the scenes that people don't see.
Cool. That's cool. All right, so besides the coaching part, you also have to teach at Bentonville High School. Mm-hmm. Tell us about your teaching responsibilities at Bentonville High School.
Doing PE and Lifetime Fitness, I really enjoy that because you get to experience a different type of kids, different backgrounds. You get some athletes in there, and you get some academic kids in there, and it's really cool to be able to communicate and talk to them about their upbringing, their background, and stuff like that. What they're excited in, because sports. I've been around sports all my life. That's what I enjoy. That's what I'm accustomed to, and and you kind of envision your son will do it. You know, my daughter did it, but my son, he was around it a little bit, but now he's getting into a different field. So what that does, it really kind of opens your mind and kind of like you understand the other people's passion and what they want to do, and be able to experience those type of kids. It just kind of, what that does, it just kind of humbles you, and it just kind of puts you in a position, kind of like look at the big picture, and because going to high school, this is their stepping ground. This is just one aspect of their lives, and just be able to be part of that and be able to experience with that with them. It's cool.
It's cool. What's your favorite part of your job?
People I work with, hands down. And the kids coming to practice, hands down. It wasn't the people that I work with in the athletic department, even the academic teachers and stuff like that. The job would not be as fun, because I think everyone's bought into the culture here at BHS. We're all striving for the same common goal. We want our students to be successful, whatever sport they're in, whatever academics are in. We want our kids to be successful, and everybody will be successful if they put the time into it and the passion into it, and we see because of that, we see a lot of kids going on being successful.
Cool. All right, we know you run practices, we know about your games, we all are aware of that. Are there anything like special you do with your team each year, something that maybe you learned from Coach Blair, or somewhere along the way that you do outside, off the court, that you think is something you're going to do every year no matter what?
Just kind of create like a family type atmosphere, because becoming a family of 10, my mom did a fantastic job just trying to incorporate everybody. And when they went away from that, when they grew up, started having their own families, she always felt like she always want to have a place where they be able to come in and be safe. I always want these kids right here to always have that ability to be able to kind of create like a family type atmosphere where they all get along. There's going to be times they're not going to like each other because the season's long and stuff like that, but they always respect one another, and they always enjoy one another when we do team bonding stuff. I think one of the favorite things I like to do, I like to go ahead and do pumpkin carving. Kids come over and get in little groups of 3s, and they go ahead and do some pumpkin carving, and just kind of go ahead and just kind of get where everyone's on the same playing field, where everyone just kind of like everything's, they come in and they don't have a jersey on. This is not a point guard or a post player. They all come in, they just kind of be able to hang out and just kind of take a step back and just kind of enjoy the little things in life.
Cool. Family, yeah. All right. How about, last question here before we move to a different part of this interview, but what about a favorite Tiger moment? You've been here a long time, so can you pick one?
So it's kind of ironic, because Jada Brown came in my office this morning, and she had to do like a little 10-minute clip, and that's one of the questions she asked me. Okay. And I said, and my first answer was, my favorite moment is always the last win.
I like that answer.
But there's other moments you stick out. And I think one of them, there's several of them. One, beating Fayetteville here, going 14-0 in that year with that group of girls. That I'm looking at, whereas looking at Ashley Whittengill hitting the last second shot to end Northside's 43 or 54 conference win streak. That right there. Then you got Montana Lewis. In 2012, she rolls her ankle on a Monday afternoon, rolls it pretty good. We got a next game. We have to win that game to get in the playoff. That's back in the day we got to get 4. And she comes in at school on crutches, and it was a game time decision. She came in, tweaked it the first minute, and she comes in. After that, 4 minutes left in the first quarter, she ended up doing a school record of rebounds. She's the reason why we run that game and got to the playoffs. It's just all those kids that they didn't ask for anything. They just want to go ahead and have an opportunity, and those are the memories I really enjoy.
Cool. All right. We're going to hit the 2-minute drill now, so I'm just going to fire some questions at you. Be short answer, not too stressful or anything, but we'll learn a little more about you, okay? You ready? Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. You ready?
Okay.
For sure.
I hope so.
All right, what was your first job? I think you may have answered this earlier in the interview, but
first job working for my dad. I was a welder fabricator, but I didn't get the weld. I just swept the shop.
Oh, good.
But he gave me the welder fabricator title. I just pushed the broom. First job.
Did you get paid?
He fed me.
Okay, that's good.
He fed me.
That's good when you have 10 kids to feed or a big family. That's important. All right, favorite type of food?
Oh, Chinese.
Chinese. So if you're going out to a restaurant, what's your choice?
Oh, P.F. Chang's.
All right, that fits. If you could turn the clock back to a young Tom Halbmaier, what advice would you give yourself?
Be more relaxed.
I like that. It's a good answer. If you're going on vacation, what would be your ideal vacation spot?
Oh, it has to be any place within the mountains, anything non-beach related.
Anti-beach.
That sand is not kind to me. The mountains, the Smokies, whatever, Colorado, any of that stuff. I love all that. Cool. Utah, Zion Mountains. I'll go back there in a heartbeat.
Like it. All right, if you're going home tonight and throwing something on the grill, what are you throwing on the grill?
Oh, steaks.
Steaks. All right. If you weren't a teacher and coach, what is another profession you could see yourself doing?
I know it's kind of weird. I think a mason, rock mason. I love working with rock, brick. I just got projects around my backyard that I just enjoy doing. Either that, I'm in the process of building a greenhouse, so either that, I'll be some form of gardener or anything else like that.
Okay, yeah, good answers here. Good insight to Coach
Work
Halbmaier.
with stuff that doesn't talk back. Yeah. So let's go.
All right, maybe that leads us to our next 2-minute drill question. Biggest pet peeve?
Body language. Gosh, that's something I can't compromise.
Okay, I guess. Practice or game?
Even in PE, anything, any student, just the kind of body language that you're trying to help them out, and it's just kind of like, it's just kind of like just the little stuff like that. Game-wise, and sometimes I'm a little more lax on it because they're in a competitive mode, but practice-wise and stuff like that, I just can't. That's my weakness. I struggle with that.
I understand. All right, book, podcast, or show?
Oh, show.
100%.
Oh, 100%.
No hesitation.
No hesitation. If I listen to podcasts, I'm dozing off. I read a book, I'm sleeping. And I'm married a librarian, so she's my crib note. So okay. She can.
All right. Let's take basketball out of the equation. Favorite sport, other than basketball?
Favorite sport? I would football.
Okay.
Absolutely. I never played it. I really haven't watched a whole lot of it as a kid, but as I got older, probably going to U of A, the first live football game I watched was the Razorbacks, and it's kind of like, I say, this is pretty cool. And my son knows more about the position because he played it in junior high, and for me just trying to talk about it, I'm just trying to pick up little stuff here and there, but yeah, it's just the formations, how they all just the timing, and you get 11 guys working together. It's pretty impressive.
Cool. All right, last 2-minute question. If you're retired, what's your retirement life look like?
Retirement life, I would say I will want to be like Forrest Gump, sit on a red snapper and just mow a yard.
Great answer. All right, we're done after this next question. We talk about Tiger DNA. What does Tiger DNA mean to Coach Tom Halbmaier?
Oh, character. Win-lose character. I remember Troy Aikman was doing an interview, and he had an offensive coordinator, and the offensive coordinator always said, and that's what he loved about it, he said, nothing is bad as you think it is, and nothing is good as you think it is. And what he meant by that, everything's all even kill. And if you get caught up in the moment, that's fine. Like I said, I'm the world's worst on that stuff right there. But that's something I try to live by that, trying to keep me even kill, stuff like that. But sometimes you gotta take it to the next level because you want show the kids, hey, this is important to me. You know, I'm 50 years old. I want you guys are teenagers. If I'm excited over it, I want you guys to be excited over it. But I always like that mindset is that, you know, whatever. Oh, this is bad, but it's not as bad as you think it is. And so it's always nice to kind of use that quote, and I say that quite often.
Cool. Well, I appreciate your time today and telling us a little bit about Coach Halbmaier.
Well,
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
All right. Thanks.